Good evening, Tallahassee. Welcome to the freezing cold Tuesday show of FSU weather. I'm student meteorologist Ariana Goldstein.
And I'm student meteorologist Dylan Leith. And we were at 46 degrees today and part of last night for 12 hours. Between the hours of 11 p.m. last night and 11 a.m. today, we were at 46 degrees. And the only temperature we got to today other than 46 degrees is, what is it, Ariana?
Tell me, Dylan.
47 degrees. So we only fluctuated between 2 degrees. Those were at the hourly observations, but it's been very cold outside.
It's been freezing. I'm from a cold state, and I came to Florida for the warm weather, and I am not digging this weather, honestly. I do not like it.
But will we see a change tomorrow, Ariana?
Probably not. Maybe
really?
A little bit of an increase.
But it's not going to be drastic. We're not getting up into the 70s again, thankfully.
No, I don't think that's coming anytime soon. Maybe a little towards the end of the week, but it's just going to get right back down to the freezing temperatures, which, sneak peek for the show, you'll hear a lot about that today. Yeah,
I mean, the other thing too is the wind chill. It's been a little windy out, which has made it seem between 44 degrees and 40 degrees outside. So even though we've only been fluctuating between 46 and 47, it's actually been feeling colder than that outside if you've been in the windy areas.
Yes, and those clouds don't help either.
No.
The cloud cover makes it feel even colder because there's no sunlight coming to you, and it was cloudy almost all day today, except towards like 4 to 5 o'clock. I think I saw the sun a little bit peeking through the clouds.
Well, the cloud cover's moving out, and that's going to lead for a cooler night because all that radiation is just going to leave the Earth and cool off just a bit. But to find out more about your week ahead, we're going to send it over to the wall right now.
Thanks, guys. So as you can see, this is the map of the United States for today, and we've got this high pressure system located right over us, and that is bringing in some nice clear skies. We'll see more of that for the next couple days. And here's a closer look. Those clouds dissipating, going kind of to the east. But after that, nothing really left in our area except for those clear skies, which will lead into tonight. Very cold out, 36 degrees. And there's those stars. So if you want to bear the temperatures, maybe go out for some stargazing. But again, bundle up. After that, towards the weekend, we will get some rain. Tomorrow and Thursday still look pretty good. Highs in the 60s, so definitely grab a jacket if you're used to those warmer temperatures here in Florida. But warming up towards the weekend, and again, more rain. So tonight, watch out for that frost. Bring your plants in. You want to be careful of that. They will probably die if you leave them out in that chill. Rain will be coming into our area for the weekend, so make sure you've got your umbrella all set and ready, and more cold air on the way. Sorry that warm temperature is not going to be a relief anytime soon, but thankfully we will send it off to the local with Ariana.
Thank you so much, Noelle. So like Noelle said, it's pretty cold, but for right now, those clouds did clear out to see that beautiful sunset that you can see here on the FSU weather stem. If you're watching the show, just look out the window, go look at it. It's beautiful. And the clouds cleared out. But what happened today, so basically, like we said at the desk, it started out cloudy, and then the clouds cleared out of our area, and this pattern will continue for tomorrow. If you take a look at the satellite and radar for the country, you can see this high pressure system over our area that's going to stay over our area for the next few days, making those skies pretty clear. You can see this rain over here by California. This system will be coming towards us towards the weekend, making the temperatures drop, and it's going to be a little rainy Saturday and Sunday onto Monday, but that is what is going to make those temperatures drop later in the week. Currently, it's 46 degrees. Again, that temperature did not change much, like Dylan and I said, mostly cloudy right now. That wind is not that strong. If it was stronger, it'd be feeling even more cold out there. If you take a look at the temperatures around Tallahassee, we've also got 46s, low 40s all the way around Apalachicola. You're a little bit warmer because you got that sea breeze making it a little bit warmer in your area. You can see that high pressure system near our area right now, bringing those winds in from the north. That is why it is so cold, because the wind is coming from the north, whereas if it's warm, they come from the south. Those dew points, pretty low, so that means basically that the air is very dry, like it says right here, so you want to keep your chapstick on you at all time, and your hands make it a little dry, so moisturize. It's very important. You don't want to have dry skin, and if you're like me, you don't want to have chapped lips. I'm obsessed with chapstick. And if you take a look at the muggy meter, we got a lot of smiley faces around. That relates to those dew points, meaning it is not muggy outside like a normal summer day in Tallahassee, which is pretty good if you like that dry air. But for the 24-hour forecast ahead, you can see those clouds are coming into our area in the early morning tomorrow, just like today. So the temperature is going to be pretty much the same tomorrow, and the cloud coverage in the morning and moving out into the afternoon will be pretty much the same like today. What you can expect for tonight, cold. I'm not a fan of the cold. Wear your jackets. Please bring your plants in. Like Noelle said, it's going to be cold. Not yet freezing, but it could drop down there at the end of the week, sneak peek. But if you take a look at the week ahead, I'll show you. So tomorrow, what you can expect, the high is going to be around 64 actually, so that sun will make it feel a little warmer, unlike today where it was cloudy all day. That temperature will keep increasing on to Friday, and it'll be 74, and then you see that chance of rain onto Saturday and Sunday, and those temperatures drop. And you can see on Sunday night the temperature will be 29 because of that low pressure system cold front that's coming into our area. So you can expect very cold freezing temperatures for the weekend. But right now I'm going to pass it off to Michael for the southeast.
Yeah, thanks Ariana. So we're going to take a look at what's happening here at St. George Island. And just like here in Tallahassee, those low-level clouds were pretty stubborn for a lot of today. But as we headed into the afternoon, those clouds started to clear out. And so now we're still cold, but at least it's sunny. But across a lot of the southeast, you saw those low-level clouds, especially in northern Alabama, central Mississippi, and also across the Panhandle, starting to finally burn off. Out towards Texas, since you're on the western sections of the south of that high-pressure system, a little bit moisture coming off the Gulf, leading to some few showers down towards Brownsville and Corpus Christi, but it's not very heavy showers, just more of a nuisance for those in South Texas. The main story in the national picture is this low-pressure system. It's going to be very unsettled for the west as we head for the rest of the work week, but that energy is going to move out into the plains and into the eastern states, and that's going to increase our rain chances as we head to the weekend. I think all of you are tired of the rain given how December was. I'm definitely tired of the rain, so not good this weekend, but it's going to get colder after that. But right now, across the southeast, because of those clouds being very persistent, we didn't get very warm today. A lot of us are in the middle to upper 40s. As you get down towards central Florida, you're in the low to mid 50s, and then down towards South Florida, you're in the middle 60s with 64 in Miami. Now, the reason why it's been a little bit chilly, not just the cloud cover, but also these winds are coming from the north, bringing in that cooler air from Canada. And then as you head off towards Texas, you see those winds are southerly as you're on the western edge of that high pressure system. Along with those northerly winds, you are getting those drier dew points, so that more Arctic kind of air and that dry air from Canada. So again, you do need the chapstick. My lips are actually dry while speaking to you, so I actually have to put on the chapstick after the show. But as we go into tonight's forecast, you do see that temperatures will cool down to around the freezing mark in the interior locations, around the upper 30s to mid 40s in the Gulf Coast region, and then middle 40s to around 50 degrees down towards central and southern Florida. It might get colder if that cloud cover burns off quickly, just because the clouds kind of insulate the heat a little bit. So if the clouds do break, it might get a little bit colder than what we are forecasting for tonight. But as we go into tomorrow's forecast, well, just for the state of Florida, you can see some low-level clouds in the morning for the Panhandle, but then as we head into the afternoon, it will be the sunshine state for Florida and actually for the rest of the southeast, as you see behind the forecast icon right there. But for tomorrow's forecast, we should finally see mostly sunny skies for the southeast, and that is definitely needed given the way the last few weeks have been in the southeast. And temperatures much warmer compared to the last few days, with middle to upper 60s in Florida and middle to upper 50s in the interior locations of the southeast. But for now, let's send it back to the desk with Jennifer and Harrison.
Yes, thank you, Michael. And as Michael was mentioning, there is a low pressure system that is making its way off on the west coast onto the United States, and it is going to impact weather, especially heading on into Martin Luther King weekend.
Yeah, and so we're going to have some local impacts here. We're going to get some rain coming through before the temperatures do cool down.
Yes.
But the main impacts from this storm should be felt along the northeast, especially along those coastal areas where you're going to get a mix of rain, sleet, snow, and freezing rain.
Yes, now as we head on into the weekend, we are going to see, especially going on Thursday and Friday, the plains are going to see a lot of heavy snow associated with this. Most of the East Coast will just see a lot of rain. But as we get on to the weekend, areas of New England, especially New England heading on into New York State, they're going to see a lot of snow associated with this. Here in Florida, though, expecting some rain.
Yeah, and these systems, they're typically hard to forecast before, a couple days out because the position of the low pressure area really can affect what type of precipitation those places in New England are going to see. So we'll have to wait a few days on that before we can know the impacts for some of the major cities. But again, for here, we're not expecting much besides some rain and cooler weather.
Yes, and especially along the I-95 corridor, traveling will be affected by this. So if you are making plans to travel up along the eastern coast of the United States, expect some delays, especially in major airports. I know Chicago O'Hare is expecting some delays associated with us. They're planning for some delays associated with this. And driving, especially if you are planning on driving, make sure you have an alternate route in case some routes have snow.
Yeah, and I'll be actually flying into Boston later this week, so I'll be there for that. I'm kind of interested to see how that's going to go.
Is that a basketball game?
Yeah, we have another game versus
Awesome.
Boston College on Sunday. So
Expecting it to be a cold one.
yeah, for now we're going to send things back to the wall where Michael's there for another update.
Yeah, thanks Harrison and Jennifer. It is pretty cold across a lot of the eastern two-thirds of the country. You can see out towards the Midwest and the Northeast, they're right now in the upper 20s to low 30s, and it's going to get really cold as we head into tonight. Southeast, they're pretty cold because of that persistent cloud cover I just mentioned earlier. And when those clouds are going to break up eventually as we go into the overnight hours, they might get down to the freezing mark in a lot of the interior portions of the southeast. Out towards the west, it's not really about the temperatures. It is very unsettled across the west. Yes, they do need the rainfall since some of the places are in a drought, but it could be too much of a good thing in Southern California and in the desert Southwest. But the dew points across a lot of the nation, very dry air across the northern tier. When you get into these pinks and whitish colors for dew points, that is some very dry and Arctic air. But even down towards the Gulf Coast, some pretty dry dew points, only in the mid-30s. Get a little bit moisture out towards Los Angeles and San Francisco. That's just because of the moisture coming off the Pacific with that series of storm systems entering the western coast. And that's what our upper level water vapor is showing. A lot of moisture out towards the desert Southwest and Four Corners region and going into Southern California as well into the interior sections of the west. But then as we head down towards the southeast, you can see a little bit of moisture and down towards Dallas and Houston, but it's not producing much rainfall. But notice the amount of dry air across the northern tier of the country. It's all due to this high pressure system dominating a lot of the eastern two sections of the country. But again, out towards the west, that's the beginning of a series of storm systems moving through. And again, that is going to really go out into the plains as we head into the later part of the work week and set up a very major storm system that Jennifer and Harrison were just talking about on their desk. So that's what we are expecting for the weekend weather for a lot of the eastern two-thirds of the country. But right now, down towards Southern Texas, just some light shower activity due to some moisture coming out the Gulf with high pressure situated off towards the east. Again, it's more of a nuisance rain rather than any very impactful rain. The more impactful rain is out towards the desert Southwest and Southern California. We do have a lot of flash flood watches and warnings in effect because due to the way the soil has been due to the wildfire situation from 2018, it's very easy for flooding to occur in these regions up towards the Sierra Nevada mountains, cold enough for some snow, and that will help in the spring with the water pack, with the snowpack for the water needed for the rest of the state of California. And then out towards the northwest of the U.S., you can see some light snow showers, but nothing too problematic for them out there. With the snow out towards the Sierra Nevadas and the higher elevations down towards Southern California, we do have winter storm warnings in pink, winter storm watches in blue, and winter weather advisories in purple, just meaning the impact snow will have in each particular region. But out towards the Great Lakes, you can see some winter weather advisories. That's just due to some of the snow we're expecting from a weak cold front expected to move through later in the work week. tonight, very cold across the northern tier of the country, chilly across the southern tier. And then for tomorrow, the southern tier actually gets warmer while the northern part of the country stays very cold with 22 in Minneapolis and 30 in Chicago, with some chilly conditions out towards the Intermountain West. But now let's send off to Harrison with our second local forecast.
Yep, thank you, Michael. And, we're going to start things off by looking at a live shot of Panama City, where you can see they're currently overcast as that sun begins to set, but not a lot going on weather-wise there. But currently here, we've got beautiful skies as we go into the sunset, an absolutely perfect picture for your evening. We're currently chilly at 46 degrees, and we have mostly cloudy skies with that north-northeasterly wind. Temperatures across our region will be in the mid-40s right now before they start dropping into those upper 30s as we get into tonight. Our dew points across the region are also dry at 36 here in Tallahassee. We're at 34 up in Bainbridge. Not a whole lot going on there, no moisture anywhere, and that's a good thing. We hadn't seen a lot of that this year. The last month or so has been pretty moist, so that's pretty nice, I think, for everybody to get some of that dry weather. As we look at those wind speeds and directions across our region, we've got good northerly flow coming into the Tallahassee area. That's keeping things dry, keeping things cold. And then on the western side of this high, you're starting to get some of that moisture return with those southerly winds, bringing in moist air off the Gulf of Mexico. Once again, our wind speeds out of the north, pretty light though, 4, 5, 7 miles an hour in Monticello here. So not a whole lot going on there either. Should feel pretty nice outside tonight. We currently don't have many clouds in the area, and they actually are dissipating. So we had a few earlier, and they are now dissipating again. As we take a broader look across the nation here, we have that low pressure system that's going to go ahead and slide across the nation and really ramp things up and get the weather going across the eastern portions of the country into the northeast later in the week, and also across the Tallahassee area, where we are expecting some of that rain and some cooler conditions following in behind that. Zooming in once again, you'll see that we have flood watch and flood warning here to our west. Nothing really going on here in Leon County, but along those rivers out west, you probably should watch out as we get into the weekend for some flooding that it will be possible. Tonight, though, our low will be around 36. We should have clear skies, and with that calm wind, I would expect some frost to develop, so your cars may have a little ice on them in the morning. If you want to look at taking your dog out for a walk tomorrow morning, I would wait, actually. 37 degrees is a little cold for me to be outside, and I wouldn't want to take my furry friend out either at that time. But if you want to wait and take him out at 11 a.m., it might feel a little bit warmer. And then as we look at our week ahead, we're going to start off pretty cool, warm things up, and with that warm up, we're expecting those rain chances to go ahead and increase before another cool down comes. And look at that, upper 20s for your Monday morning. It should feel pretty nice outside for the rest of the weekend, though. And now we're going to go ahead and send things over to the desk for Ariana and Michael.
Yeah, thanks, Harrison. So, Ariana, we're going to talk about why it is so cold on Sunday night and into Monday behind that storm system Jennifer and Harrison were referring to in their last desk.
All right. So tell me, Michael, why is it going to be so cold on Sunday and Monday?
So, again, the
Start
storm
us off.
system we are expecting in the eastern two-thirds of the country this weekend is going to funnel in some of the coldest air of the season. Really cold air from Canada and from the Arctic, and it's going to really impact not just here in Tallahassee, not just in the southeast, but a lot of the eastern two-thirds of the nation.
Yeah.
So Sunday night into Monday is the biggest one for us.
Yeah, and how do you feel about that cold air, Michael?
Yeah, it's freezing. Either I get the rain or I get the cold. I don't get...
And we need the snow, right?
Yeah.
We need the snow.
Yeah, it's
we
either
get the
rain
rain,
or
then the cold, but we need the snow.
Yeah, rain or warm or cold and sunny. I can't get like warm and sunny. Well,
Can't get the best of both worlds here, but
yep.
It's gonna be cold around the country too. In Kansas City for that championship game on Sunday at 6:30, it's gonna be a high of 8 degrees.
Yeah, the
for
core,
an outside game.
The core of that Arctic blast is over Kansas City. Like, we're expecting a game time temperature of probably 5 degrees based on what I'm seeing with early model trends. That will be the 6th game below 10 degrees at Arrowhead Stadium. Arrowhead is outside.
Wow. I think layer up for that. That is my advice to you if you happen to be going to that game. Not just 5 layers, 6, 7, or 8 layers.
Yeah, several layers, and also have the heat pads, hand warmers as well.
Like hats, gloves, scarves, those freaky face mask. Like, it's going to be freezing everywhere, not like Florida temperatures at all.
Yeah, and for locally us, if you thought the last 2 days were cold, be prepared for this weekend and next week, because that's going to be colder than it was yesterday and today.
Yeah, and Dylan's going to tell us more about that actually on the wall.
Thank you very much, Ariana. Sorry, I was just off screen. Well, this picture is a little deceptive at St. George Island for us here. It looks like it's going to be a bit rainy over there. It's really not. These are just some dry clouds. I know clouds aren't dry, but it's not any rain associated with it, and it's keeping it much cooler over there on the coast. And as we look at the national picture, we have this area of high pressure that's keeping the southeast and Florida relatively dry in terms of rain and precipitation, but a bit of rain into Houston and Dallas. As we zoom in to Florida, you do see some low-level clouds, or sorry, some upper-level clouds off the coast coming off, but there are some low-level clouds you can't really see on the map that have engulfing the Big Bend region here and parts of the southeast and southern part of Florida and much of the central part as well. As we look at our current temperatures, much of the state very, very cold. Down in Miami, 64 degrees, and I know like a lot of Miami folks like to complain about the cold weather. This may be a little justified at 64 degrees. They're not used to these temperatures. And down into central Florida, you got 55 degrees in Orlando, 52 in Atlanta, and there's a bit of cloud cover. The only place where there really isn't a lot of cloud cover is in the Panhandle, in the western part of the state as well. As we go on to our winds, you see they're dominantly out of the north, bringing in that cooler air and a lot of drier air as well, rather than off the coast bringing in moisture. And that's why we see these dew points very, very low. 36 degrees in Tallahassee, 36 in Pensacola as well. And this is when you want to break out the chapstick. This is very cold and very dry weather, so your lips are going to feel chapped. You want to bring out the humidifier as well. And we do have the drought monitor. It'll come out Thursday and update, but as of now, the only part of the state that really has a drought is the southern and central parts. They are in a moderate drought, and the rest of the northern part of the state has seen a lot of rain through the past couple of months, and that's why we're not in a drought. Florida is typically in a drought in the winter season, so the fact that the much of central and northern part aren't in a drought is a very good sign for the state as well. As we look on into the forecast, we don't see rain associated, but we do have a band of upper level clouds moving through the state into the morning, but there are still some possibilities of low level clouds sticking around throughout that you really can't see on the forecast, and that's going to lead to cooler temperatures, but it's still going to be clear in some places where it'll warm up much, much greater than it was today throughout much of the state. For tonight, though, we're only getting a little colder. Tonight, this is the coldest night, and then into tomorrow, it'll warm up just a bit. So we get to 40 degrees in Pensacola, 37 degrees in Tallahassee, very, very cold. Some frost advisories, or some possibility of frost associated in the northern part of the state. Down into Miami, 53 degrees. That is definitely cold. And as we go on into tomorrow, warmer temperatures, but cloud cover still sticking around, 63 degrees in Tallahassee. Gainesville also seeing 63 degrees. But the sun is out in Pensacola, so if you want some clear, warmer skies, head over to Pensacola for a nice day. Now let's send it over to Jennifer for a local look.
Thank you, Dylan. And if we was going
dry because we have this northerly wind coming out. We have this northerly wind, which is keeping our temperatures fairly low too. 46 degrees with these mostly cloudy conditions. So overall in the Big Bend region, it is very cold. We have a mid-40s right now across the area. We didn't really see temperatures getting above 50 for most of today because of how cloudy it was throughout most of the day. 43 degrees in Thomasville was 46 degrees here in Tallahassee. Dew points are low, so we do have very, very dry air associated in our region because we have a northerly wind, and with that high pressure system, it's going to keep things very dry and keep cloud cover at a minimum, especially heading on tonight. With this drier temperatures, the muggy meter is we're not very muggy across the Florida state. That is because of this northerly wind and that high pressure system just dominating the southeastern United States, which is bringing that northerly wind. Because these winds are coming from land, we don't have a lot of moisture associated with it, which is keeping us very dry, with winds kind of minimum for ending out our day today. 5 miles per hour here in Tallahassee, coming straight out of the north for us. With that northerly wind, because we have drier conditions, cloud cover will start to diminish as we get into tonight, which will allow for temperatures to drop a lot. Heading into tonight, we will even see temperatures into the mid-30s as well.
Next rain chances aren't happening until the weekend as this low pressure system actually moves across the country. It will increase our rain chances for the weekend, especially having it be a holiday weekend. Expect some rain chances, especially Saturday. Tonight's forecast, 36 degrees for Monticello as well as 37 here in Tallahassee. Again, it's going to be a cold one, so expect some patchy frost here and there across the area. Your day planner, when you wake up, 41 degrees. Expect it to be chilly. Make sure you wear layers, especially because we're going to have that 41 degrees at 8 a.m. and by the afternoon, around 61 degrees. Expect it to be very sunny as well heading into the afternoon. Your forecast, very dry as we head on to tonight. Expect patchy frost, especially along cars heading into the morning. And by the afternoon tomorrow, expect it to be very clear. I mean, we are in very dry conditions for this week. Heading into the 7-day forecast, very sunny heading into Wednesday and Thursday, 68 degrees for Thursday. Expect temperatures to be very cold, especially tomorrow morning. Again, rain chances aren't happening until the weekend, especially Saturday afternoon with that 80% chance of rain as that cold front moves on through. And Sunday is going to be a very wet one as well, 50% chance of rain with that temperature sticking around 60 degrees. Expect another cool down, especially heading into Monday, 29 degrees. What do you guys think about that over at the desk with that 29 degree on Monday?
That is absolutely wild. Honestly, you don't really expect those temperatures here in Florida, even though it's North Florida.
Oh yeah, it's going to be very cold as we head into the later part of the weekend and into next week. Again, yes, it's going to be cold, but it will be dry. At least it's not going to be raining. That's how it's been the last month.
Except for the weekend. That's kind of a bummer, that long weekend, no classes on Monday, but still raining on Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah. Enjoy the next 2 days. We'll finally get to see the sun. I honestly don't think we're going to see the clouds the next 2 days. I think that's going to happen. We'll get into the 60s going into tomorrow and Thursday. Sunday actually might be an interesting day where the temperature might be warmer in the morning than in the afternoon given the timing of this cold front.
Huh. Well, maybe it'll be better to go outside in the morning than later in the afternoon.
Yeah. You will have to dodge some rain showers probably very early Sunday morning, but as we get into the afternoon, start to dry out, but it will be much colder in the afternoon on Sunday with that Arctic blast moving in.
And it looks like that's going to go into Monday too, so if you want to catch the sun on the weekend, definitely go out Monday, but bring a jacket. 48 is the high.
Yeah, and of course, this is the one complaint I've had with the weather the last month. Yes, it's going to be warm on Friday and Saturday, but you have to deal with the clouds and rain. Can we get like one day where it's sunny and warm?
No, I mean, this is Florida. You're supposed to have both.
Yeah, but for now, don't forget to follow us on Twitter, twitter.com/FSU Weather.
And Facebook, FSU Weather on there as well.
Yep, and don't forget about us on YouTube, youtube.com/FSU Weather/live, where you can see all of our live streams.
And we're also on the gram at FSU Weather.
Yep, so enjoy the sunshine the next few days because we haven't had it the last 2 days, but we will have it the next 2 days.
Yes, so make use of it while you can before all that rain comes in our way, and try not to get too drenched. Bring an umbrella.
Yeah, and then we'll have to deal with the cold for our holiday weekend, especially for the holiday on Monday. But at least it will be dry after the rain on Saturday and Sunday.
There's that silver lining.
Yep, but for all of us, we'll see you tomorrow and have a great night.